So the reason that you're not confident is because your brain has decided that you don't deserve to be confident. Confidence should never be your goal. Confidence is just a byproduct of being a purposeful and goal-orientated person. Confidence is something that every single person wants. And it's not a surprise because having confidence can literally change the whole path of your life. But what if I told you that you've probably been lied to about what confidence really is? Because society tells us that confidence can be bought. They'll tell us things like, you're not confident because you don't have the newest iPhone. You're not confident because you haven't got the latest Jordans. What are those? You're not confident because you still wear wired earphones.
Really, nigga?
We're taught by society that confidence comes from external aspects of ourselves, like how we dress,
Let's go.
our stature, and our material possessions. But this is just a lie that too many of us believe. Because what many of us do is that in our chase to find confidence, we try and opt for the quickest routes to confidence. Things like buying trendy clothes, buying the latest technology, wearing jewelry, taking loans out to get flashy cars. But these are really just marketing ploys used by companies to profit from our insecurities. And since society makes us feel that we're not enough, we look outside of ourselves and borrow the confidence and status we get from others validating us for our possessions. So what is confidence? Confidence is defined as having trust in one's abilities, qualities, and judgment. But for me, what confidence really is, it's your brain's image of yourself based on what you do when no one else is around.
Oh my God! Wow!
So the reason that you're not confident is because your brain has decided that you don't deserve to be confident. Confidence should never be your goal. Confidence is just a byproduct of being a purposeful and goal-orientated person. So there's no amount of YouTube videos that you can watch that will make you confident.
Oh my God!
Because it all comes from within. So if you were to watch back one of your typical days in like a third person view, how proud of yourself would you be? Like really? If not, the first step to becoming more confident is removing the things that you do in your day that you're not proud of doing. Just by doing that, you'll automatically become a more confident person. And this is something that I noticed in my own life. So by swapping out instantly gratifying activities like excessive gaming, scrolling on social media for hours, eating junk food, watching adult content.
What do you mean by that?
And I swapped those activities for things that, to be honest, weren't as fun, but actually had positives in the long term. So things like reading, meditating, and exercises. And once I made these changes, people around me just noticed that I carried myself differently. Because I believe that confidence is built from experiences. So basically having experience in something, meaning that you feel more competent at it because you know what the likely outcomes are and how these outcomes feel. Let's take, biking for example. So if you were a experienced biker who's, been riding bikes for 10 years, you are more likely to know what the foreseeable outcomes and events are while biking, and you know how they all feel, so you feel like you're able to take more risks, ride with no hands, or even pop a wheelie. And that's because you've built your skill through experience, making you more confident. However, someone who's never rode a bike before is more likely to be very tentative while riding and take minimal risks, and they'll probably act less logically simply because they're not aware of the foreseeable events and how they feel. And this can cause them to blow minor conveniences out of proportions. And even if this inexperienced driver was to take time and read 100 books about biking, they still wouldn't be at the level of their experienced biker, simply because the best teacher is always going to be experienced. So this tendency for people that lack experience and therefore lack confidence to blow minor inconveniences out of proportions is also shown in people that suffer from awkwardness in social environments. So like the inexperienced biker, they tend to blow minor inconveniences out of proportion, and that's because they don't trust themselves in that environment. This leads to them constantly asking themselves these relevant what if questions.
Like, what if everyone can tell that I'm awkward? What if I tell a joke and no one laughs? What if everyone secretly hates me?
What?
And these questions remove themselves from the situation and put them into their own head, instead of allowing themselves to be present in the situation and feel confident that they can handle the situation. And the reason they don't know that they're able to handle these situations socially is because they haven't allowed themselves to actually experience enough of these situations. And that's because in social situations, you usually listen to your first thought and you don't really question it. And since our brain's function is literally to protect us from harm or danger, our first thought will always be one that protects us and keeps us safe. And our mind is right to protect us, because without this instinct, humans would not have been able to develop the society that we live in currently. But in order to advance yourself and become a more confident person, you need to basically put yourself in enough awkward positions where that position no longer feels awkward. Because I believe your job as a human is to find where your limits are And the only way you can find these limits is to push yourself. So you need to push past your ego that is so desperately trying to prevent you from experiences that would actually develop you. And I feel like this is something many young men struggle with. You know, this feeling of not having much confidence. And it's literally because as a young man, your life experiences are quite limited, but you're also constantly in new environments and situations. But instead of embracing these new challenges, many young men will flee from these opportunities and instead chase for comfort over escapism, whether it's in the form of gaming, drugs, pornography.
This is not right, this is not cool.
Many young men never allow themselves to learn from the experiences that life has to offer and instead opt for the safety and stagnation and comfort. You probably won't believe me when I say this, but confidence doesn't actually come from achieving your goals. It's actually from working towards these goals. So the grind towards your goals actually makes you confident. It sounds like BS, but it's actually true. So a way to actually boost your confidence on a daily basis is to literally just set long and short-term goals and then work daily to get closer to achieving them. Literally just by doing that one step, you'll basically straight away just feel more confident because you know that you're choosing the more difficult option. It's hard to respect yourself when you're constantly choosing the easy option. So by improving your ratio of like productive to instantly gratifying tasks to maybe around 70-30 in favor of productive tasks, I think that's kind of the sweet spot for productivity and balance. And just by doing that, you'll literally see massive improvements in your self-respect and therefore your confidence. If you basically right now have no productive tasks that you do on a regular basis, I really do recommend you probably start with a 50-50 split. So aim for half of the things you do each day to be productive things, and then the other half can be things, you know, just for fun. This is just a tip just to get you started, because what I don't want you to do is, you know, just go completely cold turkey straight away, get rid of everything that you enjoy doing and just do productive tasks, because in the long term that's not going to work. That's something that I've experienced myself. Like, I tried to go cold turkey on all my, you know, instantly gratifying activities and it worked for a while, but you crash because you're human. Like, at the end of the day, you're human. You do need some time to do things that you just enjoy. The key is basically having balance. So I would recommend, and maybe after a month or two of being consistent with that split, you then try and increase it to 60-40, 70-30, etc. until you're able to basically have a balance that works for you. Because the goal here is to progressively add more productive tasks to your day in the long term. Okay, so if you did find this video helpful in any way, don't forget to leave a comment down below and let me know what you thought. And as always, like the video and subscribe. And I really appreciate everyone who's taken time out of their day to, you know, watch any of my videos. So, and as always, why just survive when you can thrive. Alright, peace.